So I got my LEEP procedure done in the hospital. Thankfully, I was scaring myself for the few days before my procedure. I got on YouTube and I started Googling, I started searching up what it's gonna be like, and why is it we always see the terrifying stories? Like, we don't ever see the positive ones. We always see the ones that are meant to scare us. And that's what I was seeing. I was terrified, I was anxious, and I was overwhelmed. Hi, if you're new here and you don't know, I went to the doctor, and a few years ago, I think it was 5 years ago, I had a abnormal pap smear, and they did a coloscopy, and that's where they take a sample of your cervix and do some tests to see if it's cancerous. And a few years ago, that happened to me, and the doctor called me back, and she said, we got your results, and you have low levels. I think it was like between T1, T2, and T3 levels. And she said, we're just going to watch you for the next few years, okay? So after that, that was for my 6th pregnancy. And after that, I had 2 more. So I got, I think it was in December, I got a pap smear done because I let them know that I was not feeling good. I was not feeling good. I was losing weight, and we got the pap smear done, and again I got the call back. We found abnormal cells. What your levels are T3 to T4, so now they're higher. So that's what's scary, because if they keep getting higher, then it's going to turn into cervical cancer. And they said we need to remove those cells, that way you won't get cervical cancer. So it's precancerous cells, right? So okay. And then the doctor, it was after that, it was like a rush process. The doctor's like, okay, well, we're going to do this, this, and this. I was like, okay, well, whatever we have to do. And what she said that we're going to do is a LEEP procedure, which is a loop electrosurgical excursion, okay? So that's where they get this wire little gadget thing. It's like a little hook at the end, and it's electrical, so they stick it in your cervix and they scrape off the part that is affected. And for me, I was terrified because when they did the coloscopy, that was painful. Okay, that made me tear up and like cry because it was painful. They put this cream to numb it, supposedly, but you could still feel it, and they cut off the pieces. And she cut off a piece, and then she's like, oh, well, that's not enough, so she did some more, and yeah, it was painful. And then what scared me is because I went to YouTube, and they're like, oh, well, they do it in the doctor's office, and you're awake, and you could feel it. That's what freaked me. And then my doctor reassured me, no, I like to do it in the hospital because we put you to sleep, and they give you the general anesthesia. And I was like, okay, I felt relieved. So my appointment was on a Wednesday, and it was scheduled to be, I had to be at the hospital at 11:15, and my surgery was supposed to be scheduled at 12:45. We ended up staying at the hospital from 11:15 all the way to 6 o'clock at night. They didn't end up taking me back into surgery until about 3 o'clock because there was surgeries before mine, and they were backed up. So if you know, that kind of sucks because you're sitting in the hospital and you cannot eat when you're going to surgery. When they're putting you under anesthesia, you can't eat. So I was starving, I was getting a headache, I was just out of it and annoyed at that point. But we were there, and I need to get it done, right? Because we need to take care of ourselves. And that's the thing. If you don't know, I've had 8 babies, and after I've had the babies, I never gone back to the doctor and took care of myself, like, unless I've gotten pregnant. So The only time I would go to see the doctor was when I was pregnant, and after that I wouldn't do follow-ups and like take care of myself because I was too busy taking care of the babies. But this is my sign to you to go get checked, get your yearly pap smears, make sure that if it is preventable and you could stop it before it turns into cancer or anything like that, make sure you do it, because especially if you're a mom, your babies need you and you need to take care of yourself. But yeah, so if you have any surgery or anything, don't go to YouTube, don't go to Google, and don't start searching up stuff, because you're going to see all the stuff that terrifies you and you're going to be scared. And it's really not that bad. So when they pulled me back into the surgery, they came in, they talked to me, they said, okay, well, it's surgery time, let's go. So all I remember is them wheeling me giving my husband a kiss and my daughter, and them wheeling me out. We were going through the hall, and then once we got through, like, to the door where the surgery room is, that's all I remember. That's the last thing I remember, is them opening that door and us going in, and then I don't remember anything after that. And then all I remember after that is the nurse being in my face, like, wake up, wake up. And I, like, woke up. I was groggy, and I was like, whoa. She's like, you're done. She's like, wait, it's time to wake up. Let's get you ready to go home. And I was like, okay. Like, I was waking up. And after your surgery, they make you go use the restroom to make sure, like, everything's functioning and everything was good. And then they sent me home. So it wasn't like, I didn't feel anything at that point. I didn't feel anything. They did prescribe me, I believe it was like a higher grade Motrin or something. So they did give me that when I came home. But I didn't really feel pain that night. I just felt tired. Like, I was tired and I was starving because I did not eat. The next day, I still couldn't really feel anything. I wasn't feeling anything, but there was, like, just some discharge, which they said there was going to be a lot of discharge. Not to be alarmed if you pass clots or brownish or like an orangish yellow discharge, I believe. And that's, like, how it is. So I'm not bleeding, like, period blood yet. Like, it's not that kind of blood. It's just, like, a lot of discharge. And at day 3 is the day where I started feeling pain, like, in my lower back, and I just felt uncomfortable. But then I took the medication they prescribed me, and I was feeling okay. And I was back to normal. The next day I was up making breakfast for the kids. I was taking care of them. So it wasn't like something where I had to lay in bed, even though I wanted to lay in bed because it's a surgery and, you know, like, you want to rest to make your body heal. But it's not something where you're, like, stuck in bed and you can't move. You're still in a little bit of pain, but it's not anything too major. Like, right now I would say my pain is a level 3, not too bad, but it's just a lot of discharge, and it's just, I could feel my body, like, working to heal itself. So yeah, that was my story with the LEEP procedure. And again, the LEEP procedure is really not as bad as they put it out to be. But that is if you're getting it done in the hospital under general anesthesia. I was lucky enough to get that done. So it might be worse if your doctor wants to do it in the doctor's office. But talk to your doctor, and maybe they could get you to get it done inside the hospital. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on my recovery process. The recovery process is going to take up to 2 to 4 weeks, they said, and you cannot insert anything into that area for a whole month. So no tampons, no fun time, nothing like that for a whole month. So until your body heals. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.